Imagine you are a servant in a medieval castle. You have lived here for 20 years. You think you know this castle better than your own house. But one night you accidentally notice how your master disappears before your eyes, enters a blank stone wall and vanishes. Today we will explore why medieval architects hid rooms with secret tunnels, and why some of these hiding places are only being discovered now, hundreds of years later. A medieval castle is a hotbed of intrigue, conspiracies, and betrayals. A lord, duke, or baron could not trust anyone. Servants could be bribed, vassals could plot a coup, and close relatives could be threatened when it came to inheritance and power. Therefore, secret rooms were built with one fundamental purpose: to have a space that no traitor knows about. The secret was passed down orally from father to son, sometimes in encrypted letters, but the plans for the secret rooms were usually destroyed immediately after construction. Secret rooms in castles can be divided into several types depending on their purpose. The first type is the priest's hole. This is the most famous type of cache, especially in England. After the Reformation of Henry VIII, Catholic priests faced severe persecution, and practicing Catholicism was restricted in England. To be a Catholic priest on English soil became extremely dangerous. Wealthy Catholic families, secretly loyal to Rome, risked their fortunes, freedom, and lives to shelter priests in their homes. They needed hiding places that could not be found. At Harvington Hall, for example, 7 such shelters can still be seen. One of them is hidden under the stairs, another behind a false fireplace wall. The priests sometimes spent several days in these tiny spaces without food and almost without air. But the main trick was the use of false hiding places. Priest hunters broke into the house, probed the walls, measured the rooms, and found a hidden niche. They celebrated their success. But the niche was empty, because the real hiding place was somewhere else, deeper and even more concealed. For example, real secret rooms could often be found in the shaft of a medieval toilet. To get to it, you had to go down the vertical shaft. The second type is secret warehouses and treasuries. Any castle could be besieged and, if it fell, plundered, so the most valuable items were rarely kept in plain sight. A castle lord might have an official treasury, known to the treasurer, and a real one hidden behind a wall in a bedroom or sealed within the foundation of a tower. Many centuries later, secret treasures continue to be discovered. In 2017, during excavations at the Abbey of Cluny in France, archaeologists discovered a treasure hidden at the beginning of the 10th century, more than 2,200 silver coins, 21 gold Islamic dinars minted in Spain and Morocco, a gold signet ring, and a folded sheet of gold foil weighing 24 grams. For almost 900 years, no one discovered the secret room hidden in the structure. In 1991, a treasure chest was discovered in a secret room in the Slovenian castle of Prejima. It had remained there since the 15th century. The third type is listening rooms. This is one of the most sophisticated tricks of medieval architecture. In some castles, narrow rooms were built into the walls of large halls, from which one could hear everything happening inside. Some of these rooms had acoustic ducts, narrow pipes in the walls that carried sound into a specific chamber. The owner of the castle often listened to the lords who arrived for negotiations. Both sides played their own game. The owner wanted to know what his guests were discussing behind closed doors. Were they preparing a betrayal? Were they planning alliances with his enemies? How sincere were their promises? Another group the castle owner listened to were his own confidants and vassals. A medieval lord might hold a feast in a great hall, while he himself remained hidden behind the wall, listening to what his guests were saying when they thought he had gone to bed. The owner also listened to ambassadors and diplomats. When foreign envoys stayed at the castle, he wanted to know what they discussed privately before official meetings. The fourth type of structures are tunnels for secret meetings. Sometimes passages were built to ensure privacy. At the Château d'Amboise in France, there was an underground tunnel that connected the royal residence with the Claus-Luce estate. Leonardo da Vinci lived there from 1516, invited by King Francis I, who appointed him the king's first artist, engineer, and architect. Francis used this secret passage to visit Leonardo without an entourage, without protocol, and without prying eyes. According to some accounts, they met almost daily. Such intimacy required absolute privacy. The King of France could not visit the artist openly every day without causing gossip, jealousy among courtiers, and political speculation. Today only the first meters of this tunnel remain, but they can still be seen when visiting Clos-Luz. The fifth type is secret tunnels and bunkers. In addition to hidden rooms, fortified shelters were built inside castles, essentially medieval bunkers. These were small rooms hidden within thick walls or beneath floors, where the owner could hide in case of sudden attack or rebellion. They were equipped with thick doors, supplies of food and water, and sometimes a separate exit in case the castle was captured. For example, in 1330 Edward II formally wore the crown but had little real power. The country was controlled by Roger Mortimer, who took refuge in Nottingham Castle with his forces. However, the castle had a secret passage carved into the rock that led directly to the royal chambers. Edward's supporters knew about it. One night, they entered through the tunnel, an accomplice opened the inner defenses, and Mortimer was captured inside his own stronghold. Edward later regained authority and strengthened his rule. One of the most striking stories involving secret passages took place in Slovenia. Prejima Castle, a fortress literally built into a cliff at a height of 123 meters. In the 15th century, the castle was owned by the knight Erasmus Luger, a figure often compared to Robin Hood. Erasmus robbed the rich, helped the poor, and made himself a powerful enemy, the Holy Roman Emperor Frederick III. After killing a noble associated with the emperor, he was besieged. The siege lasted a year and 1 day. The emperor's troops waited below, expecting the defenders to surrender from hunger. But that never happened. Erasmus mocked them, even throwing fresh cherries from the castle during winter. The soldiers below could not understand how this was possible. The secret was a cave system behind the castle, a network of tunnels stretching for kilometers with an exit on the other side of the mountain. Erasmus used these tunnels to leave, gather supplies, and return undetected. The ending of this story was not heroic. Erasmus was betrayed by his own servant. When the knight went to a private chamber, the servant gave a prearranged signal. A cannon shot struck the location directly. Erasmus died in an unexpected and unfortunate moment. Architects hid secret rooms in many ways: behind fireplaces, under staircases, behind wooden panels, in half-timbered walls, or behind movable bookshelves. For example, in Bran Castle in Romania, often associated with Dracula, a secret door was discovered behind a bookcase in the library, leading to a hidden staircase connecting different floors. This allowed the owner to move unseen, pass between rooms, or quietly observe activity. Thick walls were one of the most effective techniques. Medieval walls could be 2 to 3 meters thick, making it possible to hide entire rooms inside them. Another trick was the extra step, a staircase with 1 step longer than expected. Beneath it, a hidden hatch could be concealed, but noticing it required precise knowledge of the structure. Some entrances only opened through specific actions: turning a candlestick, pressing a certain stone, or pulling a hidden bracket. These were simple but effective mechanical systems. The construction of secret passages relied on skilled masons. Often, each worker only knew their small part of the task. One carved steps downward, another created a horizontal tunnel, and a third built an exit, without ever seeing each other. Only the architect knew the full design. These rooms existed for practical reasons. Tunnels allowed escape during sieges. Hidden chambers stored valuables that could not be trusted to others. Concealed spaces allowed private observation. Even today, new secret rooms are discovered during renovations. Historians believe that many hidden spaces across Europe remain undiscovered. Right now, there may still be a hidden room inside the walls of an ancient castle, a room that has not been entered since the 15th century, still waiting to be discovered.